Sheriff Howard. The crack in Vivian Roberts' skull shows that the weapon used is an object with a heavy and sharp end, something like an axe would fit the description. To cause a crack that big, the attacker must be rather strong. I'm assuming it's either a man or a strong woman who is experiencing the use of the weapon. The victim must have been facing the attacker because of the lacerations found on the front end of the torso as well as the back side of both her arms, showing that she tried to block the attacks by holding up her arms. The fatal strike landed on the right side of the victim's head, just above the right eyebrow. This clarifies the following: that the victim was facing the killer, that the killer is strong enough to land such a clean but deadly blow, and that the killer is left-handed.
Bernard,
How do you know?
because in one of the diaries it's stated that Bernard is left-handed, and I've written that down.
Since the murder weapon was never recovered and confirmed, my assumptions of it being an axe still remains. This is me doing you a solid. Do not, under any circumstances, leak this information or I'll be in big trouble. The guys here in Grant City don't want any more than necessary to know about these details. Hope the above information helps. Sean M. Smith. Is there something else? This angle is so weird.
It is. So that's 2 years before we came here.
Interview records. Interview 2, Charles Roberts. I wasn't here when my wife was killed. I left for New York on July 18th to attend a conference meeting that was supposed to last 3 days. I was supposed to be back on the weekend, on the morning of July 20th. However, I received a phone call from our butler Bernard informing me that Vivian had been murdered. I could not believe what I heard. I cut short my trip and immediately came back to Painscreek. July 25th. There's an annual religious gathering in Hartford where the pastors from different churches in our state's vicinity meet and discuss what we can do to help our society. The event started on July 18th and ran for 5 days, so it ended on July 23rd. I represent Painscreek Trinity Church at the event. Oh, he lied. Okay, so Father Matthew is lying. I was preparing for the fundraising event when I felt sick. However, there was no one who can really do my job, so I kept working. At about 9 in the evening, I was too sick to continue, so I bid Vivian goodnight and headed back home. Dorothy Patterson saw me leave. No, there's no one else that lives there. I live alone. Dorothy Patterson. Yes, Bernard was not feeling well that day, so he left slightly earlier than usual. However, he finished his work before he left. When I saw how sick he appeared, I wonder how he could have kept on working. Well, I guess that's why the Roberts family trusts him so much. Me? I was around the mansion most of the time, either preparing the food or making sure that the other maids were doing their jobs. The fundraising event, which was to be held the following day, was important to Vivian, so we were all making sure that everything would be perfect. By the time Mary left, it was already past midnight. I locked the doors and then went home myself. No, I live alone. My name is Mary Martinez. I've been working in the kitchen for the past few days for the upcoming fundraising event. Jimmy's Bakery is supposed to deliver the cakes, but a few days before the event they canceled to inform us that they can't make it. Suddenly, I was in charge of the cakes. I was so mad because we didn't have much time, and this event was supposed to be extremely crucial for Vivian's business. But after hearing that Vivian was murdered, all my anger and work just sort of became irrelevant. Derek Tyler. I remember dropping Mr. Roberts off at the airport on July 18th at 2 p.m. I remember dropping Mr. Roberts off at the airport on July 18th at around 2 p.m. I was supposed to come back after that to drive around for Vivian, but she told me to take a break since I haven't had a day off for quite some time. I decided to visit a friend of mine who was moving upstate to West Dakota. My sort of friend, elementary school buddy that used to live here, but moved when he received the scholarship. I stayed at his place for a few days before coming back to Painscreek. Yes, he can vouch for me. I have his number at home. I can give it to you later. Derek never gave me the number. So, Derek's a little bit dodgy there as well.
Yeah.
Hello. No, can you please?
Lost and found.
Can you? Car key.
A car key
The plot thickens.
for Mr. Moss's glove box.
Man, what do you think it's gonna be?
A severed hand. Close enough.
Lockbox. Oh,
For the inn.
no.
Just leave the diary in there.
It can be very finicky. My head hurts, my tire's flat, and the phone's not working. Someone's trying to stop me from leaving Painscreek? Am I close to discovering something? Oh god, I thought he was the one. I was wrong. He's not the killer. He's not. Okay, so clearly Moss was onto something.
He meant Bernard.
I mean, we don't know who he meant because he never wrote it down.
Yeah.
Hold on. What is this?
Assumptions.
Assumptions. The Roderick.
Since we don't have anything else to go on except like 50 fucking diaries. What's the button for? Where the fuck's that? Could be anywhere. Could be anywhere.
He's onto me, and I had to hide the key in one of the drains by the roadside. He will never find. So that's why we have the thing. Okay. Roadside drain. Ever since I received the messages in the key, I've been following this anonymous person blindly. What a fool I've been. I need to revisit my investigation notes and see if I might have missed anything important. I looked through the alibis recorded by Sheriff Howard. There were 6 interviews: Charles, Matthew, Bernard, Dorothy, Mary, and Derek. Then I noticed it. One of them is lying. It was recorded that there was an event, yet I remember reading something about it being cancelled. Where did I read it again? I can't seem to remember. Oh my god, I've just realized that the E in all of the killer's messages is slightly off in comparison to all the other letters. If I can find that typewriter, I can find who killed Vivian.
I like that we noticed this before this guy. He's been in this town for like, what, a week, a month?
I mean, look, to be completely fair, we didn't really compare the dates to when he wrote what.
True, but still.
So, he might have noticed it before. How peculiar. Anyways.
The fuck?
I thought you heard that.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was through your mic.
I thought that was in-game, and then I was like, wait, did a train come by? And then I heard it again, and I was like, oh no, that's a train.
I just heard, ha.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Like, I heard it as well.
Okay, so,
Um,
bit creepy.
very creepy. Okay, so we need to find a roadside drain.
Drained. I want to first go to Charles's, because now we have the birthday.
Oh, right. Can do that.
Just so we're done with that part of the game. Before, because everything we need is on that side of town. So.
Yeah, true.
Got.
Yeah, I heard two honks, and I was like, I don't know if that's.
You heard a
I don't
honk?
know.
I thought it was a scream.
No, it was like honk, honk. But they were too far apart to be from a train. I've got this like sense of unease when you open the glove box, and when you entered the inn, that there's just gonna be like an axe murder. Yeah, that like, you know, you're gonna like teleport into the cell, and there's just gonna be like an axe murder in front of you. Who can keep on the lights?
Well, you think an axe murderer can?
Somebody needs to power the fucking generator. But yeah, I know that I have this unease. Oh damn! And it's the piece. It's the. That's a bishop.
I suppose. That's a 4. The last will and testament of Randall Lewis. I, Charles Roberts of blah blah blah, being in sound mind, declare this council condicial to my last will and testament, July 1st, 1975, effective as of today, June 21st, 1975. Should a boy be born in a Roberts family that is a direct lineage to Charles Roberts, if he is the eldest son and no others contest, he shall inherit all the family's fortune upon Charles Roberts' passing. The sole condition to this is that the son must be at least 25 years of age. The firstborn child of the Roberts family shall inherit 50% of all the family's fortune should Charles Roberts pass away. Article 11 shall be added to my will and shall read, Vincent Roberts, born of Charles Roberts and Sophia Miller on June 1st, 1975, in Painscreek, shall be officially acknowledged as a family member of the Roberts family effective July 1st, 1975. Okay.
We also got another diary.
Can't believe that Scott killed my wife. It's being spewed all over the media. How? Why? He loves Trisha, and I treated him like my own son. It doesn't make any sense. I visited Scott today. I asked him why he would kill Vivian. He did not answer, but simply looked down at the floor. I wanted an answer so desperately that I nearly rattled his neck. Does he even feel any guilt or remorse for what he's done? How can he not say anything? I visited Scott again today, knowing that he will be released soon. There just wasn't enough evidence to pin him. He looked thinner than before, but I didn't care. I wanted to know why he killed Vivian. When I asked, he stared at me. I was so angry that I yelled at him. I was about to leave when out of nowhere he said, I pity the ignorant. What the hell does that mean? I got drunk last night at the inn. Scott is not a free man. I think I babbled about how much I despise Scott, and what it would do to have someone get rid of him. Did I really say that? How did I get home anyways? Oh right, Bernard was with me. He drove me home. First National Bank. Stateroom deskant, chess pieces. King, knight, queen, bishop. Brunch. Okay, let's go look for that train now. See what we can discover from that. Because I mean, Moss threw something down, right?
Yeah.
Head into the church.
Oh, back. To your right. You're right. You had a drain.
Oh, good spot. Oh,
Ah, told you.
what is this?
19th century design. Maybe for the
gate?
gate. No. Okay, well, let's look around here to see if we can find the time capsule they were talking about. You still have the picture of the where he marked it? No, picture.
Well, that's accurate.
So it seems like it would be, I don't know, next to a tree or something. Try looking, yeah, try looking in that like corner bit to your left. Maybe there's like a clue as to where it would be. No, I doubt it's in the whole corner, but like where the map is, it looked like it would be somewhere around this place, or it might be like next to the rock.
Maybe.
Solid tree rock.
I mean, a rock's a decent marker.
Yeah. Try like looking at the rock. Oh.
Well, that was fast. Hey, at least the letter was undisturbed. Scott is gone, and Trisha is dead. How did this happen? I held Trisha's funeral last week. There could have been more people. There should have been more. The village will be barren in a few months to a year. My generation is just moving out, and the old generation is simply dying out. I will also be leaving here soon, once my mother passes on. What? Once I can't take of her any longer? What? Once to take care of her. Can't take care of her any longer. The night Vivian died, I saw Scott meeting her. I was at a distance from where they were arguing. I couldn't hear the details, but I could tell they were disagreeing. When Scott left and went back to his cabin, I followed him. I watched him through the window till early morning, all the time thinking how we have drifted so far. How could Trisha choose him over me? Am I not good enough for her? The police questioned me when Scott was suspected of killing Vivian. I know he didn't do it, but I decided not to tell them what I knew. With Scott locked up, I could have a chance to be with Trisha. I didn't expect that this small omission on my part would eventually lead to Scott's death. When Scott died, Trisha ended her life. In a way, I too died that day. I never wished for Scott to die. No, Trisha. I hope they can forgive me. Derek Taylor. Oh, a little bit fucking late now,
Um,
isn't it?
um, I remember that there's a wedged nightstand in his house. Could we use the hammer for that?
Ooh, good point. Hey, good
Like
memory.
that suddenly dawned on me. Oh look, more fucking jam.
Hidden room and study.
Oh, and there's a secret attic. Church.
Underground secret passage.
I presume that's the sewer.
Possible. What's that box?
That's the bishop. Pick up the bishop. Fine.
Best friends forever. Yeah, well, how did that end up? Trisha, congratulations. I'll always love you. From Mom.
We need to find that attic. That might be the lamp fixture.
It's possible. Should we check out everything else first?
Yeah, given how we've just like not done that.
Yeah, we should kind of fucking do that because
We're like, oh, new clue, new clue, new clue, and then we just leave the old ones. Okay, so we should then turn to Bernard's place and then maybe to the mansion.
Hammer Sam. Well,
Well, that's a bloody knife.
it is a bloody knife. Dried bloodstains, so man, I'm just expecting someone to run upstairs.
Yeah, I know, right?
I like the wooden interior of this room, but it also unnerves me a little bit. There's no fucking texture to it. I did not open these.
Huh? What? Why? Why would you have that?
I don't know.
Why would you have a glass screen door and then a bathtub?
Bitch. Nice. I drove Vivian today since Derek is out of town with Charles. As I was driving, we talked. She expressed that, despite having a successful business, she felt empty and tired. Trisha hates Vivian for trying to stop her from seeing Scott. She seems to be really bothered by the name Vincent, and her relationship with Charles seems to be just for show. I wish I could comfort her. She's going through so much right now. Only I could confess to Vivian how much respect I have for her, how much I admired her. Ever since Trisha brought up the name Vincent, Vivian has been pretty quiet. Even during dinner, she hardly spoke. I can barely remember the last time Vivian appeared happy. I don't think anyone can blame her. Wanda hasn't been coming to work for a while now. Her illness is getting worse. I wonder how she's coping. Derek wasn't available to drive Vivian again, so I offered to help. It's been a month since I drove for her. She's been opening up more to me, telling me about the struggles she's faced with, her rocky relationship with Charles, how she really dislikes Scott. Sometimes I would give her some suggestions where she asks what she should do. Other times she just wants someone to listen to her. Mostly, I'm just happy to be with her. Vivian seems rather distraught recently. During the afternoon tea gathering, I stood outside the room and tried to listen to the conversations. She feels miserable being with Charles. They hardly look at each other, let alone speak. Personally, I don't think Charles deserves her. I finished reading Vivian's biography. Half the facts were incorrect. The writer should have done his homework better. Sometimes when I'm driving for Vivian, she asks me to drop her off at the corner of a street, typically in front of Tom's Cafe. She's always telling me that she'll make it back home on her own. It aroused my curiosity, so after dropping her off today, I parked the car and watched her. She ordered a cup of coffee to go. She then left the cafe and walked up the street for about 5 minutes to a residential area. She stopped in front of an apartment and pressed the doorbell. Shortly after, a man in his early 30s wearing a suit opened the door. He leaned over and hugged Vivian. She gave the coffee to him, and they exchanged some words. I couldn't hear what they said. Then they entered the apartment together. Who is he? This is the sixth time I've followed Vivian. After she went into the building with the guy, I parked the car nearby to wait for her to come out. Is this considered stalking? Yes, my dude. After 2 hours later, a cab stopped in front of the apartment. Shortly afterwards, Vivian came outside, and the man followed closely behind. They chatted for a bit. Vivian looked extremely comfortable with him. Before leaving, she kissed him on the cheek. What's going on? I tracked down the guy. He works at a bank. The place they meet is his apartment. How could she do that? Who the hell is he? I reported sick for the third consecutive day. As I laid in bed, I kept thinking of why Vivian would be seeing another man. No matter what Charles did to her, she has kept her faith in him throughout the years. How could she be having an affair now? She's better than that. She's supposed to choose me. Ah, these things are never healthy. Never. No. Day 1. The hospital gave me these pills. They're supposed to help fight depression. Day 2. I feel a slight dizziness. It might be the food that I ate this morning. Day 3. The dizziness comes and goes. Still able to work. Not a big problem. Day 5. It's my day off today. I didn't take the medication, but by the evening, I started thinking about Vivian. Day 8. I had to drive Vivian again, so I took double the dosage. I had a migraine for the rest of the day. At least I didn't have to think about her. Day 11. Can Vivian stop seeing that guy? Why can't I stop thinking about it? Day 12. Now I know that my dizziness comes from these pills. Day 20. The pills. They don't seem to work anymore. Doesn't matter if I take them or not. I can't stop imagining what Vivian and the guy are doing whenever they meet. Day 32. I stopped taking the medication. Oh boy.
This guy's really crazy.
What do you think? I mean, this admiration, this bloody fucking knife in the floor that he killed Scott with. So we used the shovel. So what have we left?
The hidden. So we can either open Charles's desk or go to the church to find the hidden attic.
We will see. Although, you know what worries me? The fact that
Hmm.
there's some doors that still remain locked and we still have not found the keys to them. That's what bothers me a little bit.
They might just be unopenable.
Yeah, but if they're unopenable, it wouldn't say unlock. What was the code?
So 4195. Then
Nope.
change the 4 and a 5. It's either or.
Charles Roberts. Upon your request, we investigated Andrew Reed and Henry Johnson's deaths due to confidentiality agreements with our sources, we are unable to reveal the true nature of their deaths. Suffice to say, both of them did not die of said accidents, so we dug deeper. We found out that Andrew and Henry were both related to the disappearance of Sophia Miller and the death of Magdalene Roberts 20 years ago. What really happened to Sophia, we do not know as of now. However, some evidence was brought to light regarding Magdalene Roberts' death. We talked to a retired nurse who used to work at Painscreek Community Hospital, although she preferred to remain anonymous. According to her, she came across a note while cleaning Dr. Johnson's office. In it, Dr. Johnson stated that the prescription was lethal and to be administered only to Magdalene, and the dosage has to be precise or it will not work. No one else should intake it. A letter was made out to your wife, Vivian Roberts, according to the note. If you would like for us to stop this investigation, let us know at your earliest convenience. Otherwise, we will continue to find out the truth about Sophia's disappearance. Sincerely, Jason Becker. There's a lot of detectives in this town. Our investigation was initially promising. We interviewed possible witnesses who might know something about Sophia's disappearance. Months later, however, we are nowhere near knowing what happened to Sophia. We've searched through all the states of any possible trace, but to no avail. What we can conclude at this time is that the main cause of Sophia's disappearance has to do with Andrew, Henry, and Vivian. Now that they're all gone, we are unable to get the truth about what really happened to Sophia. If you prefer, we can still continue the search. However, the results look bleak. We've posted rewards for any information regarding Sophia, hoping that it's just a matter of time before someone with real information steps up. For the time being, we suggest that you wait. Should anything emerge, you will be the first to know. It's a town full of detectives. Months ago, right before Vivian was killed, I confronted her about Mom's death. She said she said she didn't know anything about it. She only administered the medicine that's provided by Dr. Johnson. She was lying. I could see it in her eyes. She was scared and she was hiding for her fear. I know that Vivian was never completely truthful with me, but I still have no proof yet. She never liked Mom, but I wouldn't have thought her capable of killing her own mother-in-law. I know that she had something to do with what happened to Mom and Sophia, but what can I do? She was my wife after all. And now? Vivian's dead. So is Scott. Now Trisha's dead too. Is this my punishment for the affair I had 20 years ago? So he clearly knew, right? He knew.
He seems like a potential killer. You said a little window that covers the whole wall.
Well, come see, come saw, right? Actually, I wonder
Oh,
if.
no, 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 no. Whew.
No. Oh.
Maybe it's either in his study or in his room. Oh, there it is.